Well, yeah, I think he's definitely performing very well. I think he's a really strong player, and I'm really happy that he can show it to everyone. I'm not sure who is eligible for rookie, but I think Win is definitely up there.
Jizuka, Upset, Targamas, Jack Troll, Mini Trupax. Okay, a bit of competition, but
I think definitely from every name you said, I think he's the best performing player, and I would be really happy that he gets the nomination.
Hey everyone, this is Darius from Shotcaller. I'm sitting here with Steeelback from Giants. You guys just picked up a win against Vitality. Yeah. Does that feel extra special?
Yeah, it feels good, definitely, because Vitality is on top of the standings, and we lost during the first week. We lost versus them, so we wanted to take the revenge, and it's also my old team, and it's also the old Giants team, so there is a lot of thing going on here, but yeah, it feels good, definitely, to win today. Yeah.
Was going to ask about that. There's definitely a huge revenge story, like movie story almost going on. Does it feel especially sweet to win against your former team? And Kabusha?
Yeah, I think it definitely feels good. I'm really close friend with Kabusha, so it always feels good to win and see him losing, because he saw me losing as well, so I had to take the revenge. And no, it was definitely a good game for us, and I'm happy with the win today. Yeah.
Now, you had a bit of an early game unfortunate situation, let's just go like that. You got jumped on pretty much immediately, and Kalista, of course, needs to get going in the early game to really stomp. How did you manage to still come back and still be decisive in that game?
Well, they ganked level 2 with Javan. I didn't expect him to do that, because the bot lane came instantly to the bot wave, so I thought he started topside, so it was actually a really good play from them. I think they played that good, but they didn't manage to really snowball that lead, because I could hold the bot tower and even get lead and move before the bot lane. So I think it was good what they did, but they didn't manage to snowball it. And actually in teamfight, I think we played better as a bot lane than they played. So I think we were just superior this game, yeah.
So one thing about you not playing for Vitality anymore, now playing for Giants, and former Giants now playing for Vitality. Apparently when Giants decided on their roster, and I think you mentioned this in an interview with Joker before, you essentially hold trials against what is now the current Vitality lineup, and you were able to beat them multiple times, so you were decided to be on the Giants roster.
Yeah, we definitely. So when we started to the tryout in Giants with every player that we have right now, we played against the Giant former team. It's actually the Vitality team, but without Kabusha. We played against Antonio, I think. It was the old Giants top laner, and we were actually winning most of the game versus them, but it was also early in the season, and they had different top laner, so it's totally different atmosphere, different meta, but we were actually winning most of the game versus them. So I think if we still work and keep on playing like we do, we'll be able to be better than them. Yeah.
Okay. Now, it's very interesting to see to an extent, of course, because, in the recent Euphoria podcast, when there were rankings, again, Giants was placed at the bottom. And Vitality, for the first 4 weeks of the split, looked like the one top-tier team that everyone wanted to look up to. And people, when people first heard about the story, they were like, how mental do you have to be from Giants side to decide for that roster and not that one? Yeah. But now you showed them why, of course.
Yeah, well, it's funny because I saw the podcast and we were last again. So I was like, but what happened, guys? We won the games and we had the bad week. I admit it wasn't a good week, but we lost again. So okay, well, let's remind them again. Maybe we need to remind them next week as well. But I think Vitality was really strong at the beginning. They were winning almost every game. And I think when they started losing, it's when you see if the team can come back or can fall into a trap or tilt. And I think Vitality is showing that right now, when they lose, they're having a hard time to come back and to get their head out of the water, if I can say that. But I think it's definitely a weak point that Vitality is right now. They're having trouble to come back and show the level they had at the beginning. I think they're really good when they're really confident and everything is working well, but when things start going bad, they maybe tend to play worst.
So is it just about confidence, or do you see specific issues when the team just falls apart, like team fighting or something like that?
I think on stage and what they showed at the beginning is that they were a good team together, and I think it's basically almost only about confidence, I would say, because I think they all have good players. If they play together, they can be definitely a strong team, but maybe now they lost confidence, and so they don't rotate as fast, they don't talk as much, and I've been through that kind of situation. It's always hard to pull it back and to get that win and that confidence back, but I think they have experienced players, so they will be able to maybe do it if they stay positive.
Okay, fair enough. Now, one thing that we need to talk about here is your absolutely insane top laner, Ruin, who's just shredding through people. I mean, in that last fight when he just got the most important kills that, completely decided, okay, this game is over, he's been putting in work straight up. Do you think that he's one of the, if not the hottest contender for Rookie of the Split right now?
Well, yeah, I think he's definitely performing very well. I think he's a really strong player, and I'm really happy that he can show it to everyone. I'm not sure who is eligible for Rookie, but I think Win is definitely up there.
Jizuka, Upset, Targamas, Jack Troll, Mini Trupax. Okay, a bit of competition, but
I think definitely from every name you said, I think he's the best performing player, and I would be really happy that he gets the nomination.
Yeah, it must have felt pretty special for him as well, because of course he played for a year with that Vitality roster, and seeing them leave was unfortunate. Make sure to check out the interview with Ruin that Ashley Kang did for the Shotcaller, because she's Korean and she's able to speak Korean with him. So a really interesting story. He got relegated from even EU Challenger, I believe, with SK Gaming back then, and he told us, or told Ashley, that he started crying even at that point. So I mean, getting relegated from Challenger must feel really bad.
Of course.
Now, you have been around for the LCS for such a long time. Is it almost interesting, or is it kind of sad to see? Because like every time there's the off season between summer or like Worlds and Spring Split, we see so many EU veterans leave. This time it was part of Evil Forbidden and Sven and Mithy. Before were other players. Is that saddening to see, or have you gotten used to it?
Well, I think, is it sad? I think it's what they do is, I understand them. I think in NA there is better orgs and better money, obviously, than EU. So I think that's why they leave to NA, so I'm not going to be mad at them. Then is it sad? I think it is, because when you have strong EU player, I would be happy that they stay here and actually bring the EU level up, and every rookie, because I think when you have strong player, the rookie player play against them in solo queue and can get on their level, but if they leave to another region, then they give this level to other players. So I would be more happy if they stayed. I'm not mad against them, but I think it would be good that you get on any level in case of money and structure. Then we could actually keep all our best player in Europe. Yeah.
Now you've been to NA yourself for a little while.
Yeah.
What was that experience like?
Well, it was when I went to NA, it was totally new for me. I didn't know anything about NA. I'd never been there, so it was totally different culture. I liked it. It was really hot outside, even though I was not going outside that much. But it's definitely a good culture. About the players I play against, I felt they were a bit worse. The solo queue ladder, and I felt the players were a bit worse than Europe. Even when I scrim against LCS team, I was in challenger team, but sometimes we would scrim against good teams, and I felt they were a bit worse back then. But it was like 2 years ago, so it was quite a while. So maybe it changed now, but I felt when I was there, definitely the level was a bit lower.
Now, out of a very important former Fnatic squad, Huni, Raynova, and Forbidden are now in NA. Well, Yellowstar is kind of retired while he's coaching, of course, LC. When are you gonna go to NA?
Well, it's not really my plan right now to go in NA. I think I had offer in NA when I was in NA Challenger. I had offer for Immortals back then, and I chose to go to Unicorn because for me my goal was really to get better as a player, and I felt that how could I get better is to stay in Europe, because I knew the player, I knew the culture, I knew it. I would be more happy there. Like if I was going to NA, it was kind of a gamble, and I felt that EU players were better. So definitely I wanted to stay in Europe and go to Worlds. So for now, I really want to go to Worlds. It's really my dream, my main goal, and then we will see what I do.
Okay, then afterwards, EU players go to Worlds, and then afterwards they go to the NA retirement home.
Yeah, maybe.
But man, like you on that Immortals roster, but I guess then it would have not been Huni and Rainover, or like only one of the two?
I mean, it was really at the beginning of Immortals. I'm not sure who was the player yet. I just knew he contacted me, and I just wanted to stay Unicorn back then. But Immortal was definitely a really good org, and I think his name is Noah Winston, and he was very nice to me, and he understood everything. So it was definitely a really good org, and that wanted me. I was really glad to receive that offer, but I really explained them that my goal was to stay in Unicorn and go to Worlds.
Sad to not to see them in LCS anymore. I'm not gonna lie. I still have my Immortals jersey that is now catching a bit of dust, but yeah, I guess that's just the way of it.
You can just hang it there in your
room. And I mean, you have some jerseys that you can probably hang in there.
Yeah, I can do that too, but I'm too lazy.
Yeah. Okay. Well, is there anything you would like to say to the French fans out there? You can speak French if you want.
No, for every fan.
Okay.
For French fans as well, I'm sure they can understand. Maybe. So yeah, well, thank you for everyone that supports us. I will really try my best to go really far this split and try to go playoff and get points for Worlds. Thanks for the message. Thanks everyone. It really feels good to have you on my back all the time and cheering for us. So keep on going, and thank you everyone.
Of course, this was Steeelback from Giants Gaming and Darius from the Shotcaller. Hope you had a good day. See you then.